Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 113 of the High Sensitivity Gaming Podcast. And thank you for listening. If it's your first time here, we talk about video game and movie news as well as what we watched or played over the week. My name is Barry, along with my co host.
My name is Craig. Yes, I'm wearing the same shirt as last week. No, I didn't plan it. Yes, I washed my clothes. Thank you.
And another guest, another Craig, is here as well.
Two Craigs for the price of one.
It's always fun editing your guys' footage because it's always Craig and Craig squared or Craig 2. So it's always
Yes.
fun to the moment that I have to figure out who is who.
It's true.
But
Yeah.
what's also exciting is this week is probably the biggest, best news that we've had in a while, which, is part of the news. So let's get into it.
Let's
Before
do
the
it.
big one, I do want to talk about Pokemon Violet and Scarlet reveal. We did have a little teaser there with gameplay of the starters, gameplay of probably who your rival is, how the different versions have different professors. Bigger news is 4-player open world co-op. So you and
Yeah.
4 friends get to go into the world and just go wherever the heck you want. I have a feeling it's going to be a lot like Sword and Shield, where like certain areas are kind of the open realm or open world areas, and once you get into a town or something, it probably sends you back into single player, much like that. But if it's something that's fully like co-op, cool. If only the Switch had some sort of party chat that's not integrated into your phone.
I know.
You know,
But-
that would make sense, right?
Yeah, but what did you guys think?
Go ahead.
I mean, that's definitely a great addition. Pokemon they always have to find new ways to make it like either more interactive or just different from the same formula. And, anytime they're going to announce an upcoming game, I kind of just have that feeling in my stomach, which is it going to be the exact same game that I'm playing? So I like that addition. That's going to bring a different scale in terms of how we play the game together. It makes me think about back in the day where, like Red Blue, like the most multiplayer that you got was like trying to track down your buddy who had a Machoke available, like and is trying to get him a champ, and vice versa with a Kadabra and an Alakazam. So it's kind of nice. It's nice and refreshing. The gameplay reveal, well, at least that not gameplay reveal, but the trailer, it looked a lot like the same in terms of like a graphics aspect, but as long as they're trying like different things, it's not going to be Arceus. But like I'm nice. It's nice to see that.
You know, it's funny because that just jogged in my memory here. My very first memory of Pokemon at all, before I even played the game, was I was at my friend's house. We were in elementary school, I think, middle school maybe. And he was like, "Hey, I got to go to my friend's house. Will you walk with me? I got to trade him for a Pokemon that has cut." And I was like, "I don't know what that is
Yeah.
at all." But we had to walk to his house so that we could do a trade so he could get cut. And that was my very first Pokemon memory. And you just reminded me of that. So thank you.
Oh yeah. That's
My 2 takeaways, though, from this review, and it's the 2 takeaways I've seen the most on the internet, is Lechonk, right? He's
Lechonk,
kind of-
yes.
Yeah, he's like the celebrity and super attractive gym leaders is what I got out of it, right? Those are like the 2 things, like uber anime attractive gym leaders and this other new Pokemon that everybody's freaking out about. That's
Yeah,
what I got.
Yeah,
Do you have something
Lechonk is a
against
funny.
Misty? Do we have
Huh?
something against Misty? Is that like what's it?
I don't know. Everywhere I turned this week, it was like, man, these gym trainers are super attractive. And I like, yeah, you're not wrong. They look good.
No.
Everybody's thirsty. That's what.
Yeah,
That's how it
everybody-
is. It's just a bunch of 40-year-old Pokemon gamers. Is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my grand takeaway of that.
Yeah,
Take
they
a Google
also-
from that.
They also revealed the 2 legendaries. It does look to be set in Madrid, based on kind of confirmation of what the geography is like, and a November release date. So if you're looking for it, it's time to get into it. Time to get into Scarlet and Violet. So good luck to everybody that is excited for this game. Hopefully, it doesn't like tear down your expectations. Is what
Yeah.
I'll say.
Put money down now on, of the 3 of us, who finishes this game, if any, and don't
Ooh,
put money on me.
I'm gonna put money on me not finishing it, but like
Yeah,
giving it the
I
old
won't.
college try. I will try, but
Barry, how far are you on Arceus right now?
So
boy.
okay, so here's the thing. It's a little
Here's
hard
the
to say
thing.
because I played Arceus. I am at now the 4th area, but
Okay.
I have been playing the game like to completion in each area. Like
Okay.
I'm, you know how there are levels in Arceus where it's like
Yep.
Mhm.
I'm 9th ranked at just the 4th level. So like I'm close to end game type stuff, but every new
Okay.
Pokemon I catch, I master the Pokedex entry, and then I go on to the next thing. I've been playing
Just
it a
beat the
lot. That was
game.
actually that's one of my game. That's one of my games that I was playing this week. I should just
Oh, yeah.
beat the game, but in
Yeah.
order to beat the game, you need to do all this stuff so you can get the legendary at the end to get another legendary that's exclusive to the Hisui region. So
It's a tall order.
Yeah, I
It's-
gave up on that game a long time ago.
it's tough
Same.
being a Pokemon master like myself. It really
Yeah.
is. It's a rough life I live.
I mean, they should definitely send you a badge or something.
Yeah.
That would
Right.
be cool, but I have a
At
feeling
least.
that other people already, have done this a lot faster than I
Probably.
have.
Probably.
They're probably more deserving.
I can jump into some smaller one I had here, and this ties into will tie in later into games I played this week. But Diablo Immortal, which came out this week on phone and PC.
Banned.
Huh?
It's
Banned?
banned.
And
Yeah. $110,000 is how much it would cost to get the best gear in the game, or you would have to play for at least 10 years to get all the best gear. And I'm going to leave it at that because I will go over it in games played this week, but just thought
Okay.
I'd throw that out there. $110,000.
I believe, and I was screaming banned because it's banned in certain countries for its loot boxes.
Yep, it's pretty bad.
How about you, other Craig?
I
Craig
mean, the
Squared.
biggest news to me, I kind of wanted to get right into the state of play and some of the things that we were going to talk about because, like, this is
Yeah.
like jam packed with stuff that I want to talk about. I know the three of us want to talk about, like, collectively takeaways, what we're excited about, what we're not.
So let's do the state of play then. We'll kind of break it down by probably the most important to least important.
Sure.
First most important game of that was Eternites. It's an indie anime game. There's a hand holding.
Stop.
There's a hand holding
Dating
button.
sim.
There's a hand holding button. You don't get any more anime than that. Apparently,
No, you
it's
don't.
inspired by. Apparently, the creator, it's an indie team, is inspired by Persona 5. So that
course.
makes me excited.
Yeah.
Mhm. It would.
But yes, yeah, it would. Are you trying to say something, Craig? But
All I'm saying is when I saw this trailer, I went, that is 100% your game and not mine.
you're right. I actually thought it was something to do with like Scarlet Nexus because the combat looks very similar to Scarlet
Mhm.
Nexus.
It did.
But this is by far the most important game of state of play. To be honest, I think you both would agree that we should just skip the rest of the announcements
Yeah.
and not just talk
I
about
was-
them at all.
I mean,
Game
I
of the
was
year
hoping-
next year, locked in.
Oh yeah, hands
Right?
Yeah,
Or
I
does it come
did-
out this year.
I think it's next year. It's early 2023.
It's next year.
Okay.
Yeah, got that memorized.
Collector's edition incoming with a plastic hand you can hold.
Probably, yeah. As long as I have to hold R2 to hold hands, I'm for it.
That's what that button was made for.
Yeah, holding hands.
So
Yeah.
as we continue on the most important part of things, we have the Spider-Man series to PC and Miles Morales, which they really didn't show off in the trailer. But
Right.
this is exciting news for PC players. Probably one of the
Definitely.
most popular PlayStation games to ever come out in recent history, with a Marvel tag on it. And it's like, okay, PC players, here you go. I'm just excited for the mods that come out for it. I want to see, it'd be really funny to see what is it? What's his name? It's something. It's like Darkwing Duck or something like that. Like imagine him
Oh,
modded
yeah.
into the game, swinging around. It would just be funny.
Can we get
Um,
Andrew Garfield?
You have his suit. His suit's already in the game.
Yeah, but his actual
Yeah.
face.
You could try. I don't know how
Somebody
that'll
will
work.
do it.
Somebody will
That's
deep
like-
fake it.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of the reasons to get excited is specifically for how people can tailor it with these mods. Like that's because you got to think that a lot of the public has been scrounging around for a PS5 to try to like play not just this game but a lot of other games too. And now that it's coming to PC, half of it is just seeing what people can do with it, with the creativity and the weirdness that is out there.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, speaking of people trying to get PS5s, and I didn't report on this at all, but Sony apparently came out and said that all those that want a PS5 will be able to get one soon. That's like a big announcement from Sony, considering that like it's kind of hard to get PS5s right now.
Yeah.
Series X's as well. They've been not as scarce, but just as kind of in a way.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see if Sony follows up on that promise. That's all I had there. Next up is Horizon Forbidden West update. Has a new game plus mode, has new end game gear, a new graphics update, which I'm very, very cool about. I'm interested to do that. And they announced Call of the Mountain PSVR 2. There was a trailer that kind of was announced the other week. I just thought what was funny is they kind of showed off these VR games, but then didn't show an announcement date for the PSVR 2. Like, we have an idea because of where these games are releasing, but they didn't just go, okay, here's the date.
Am I mistaken, or did they say that would be day one with the VR2 headset? Okay.
Yeah.
They said day one.
Okay.
Day one exclusive
out there.
Right. So sometime relatively soon, you think?
I think either early 2023 or if possible end of this year. I think
holidays.
I know the original PSVR sold pretty well, but that was before the Quest kind of came and took over VR gaming. So a part of me wonders what this is going to offer that the Quest kind of doesn't already. Like, is the PSVR going to be wire free? Because like that's going to be a big thing for people, considering the Quest is wire free. What kind of games is it going to come out with? Is it going to support things like allowing people to download songs for Beat Saber and whatnot? Like what's nice about the Quest is that it has no wires. You can make do with what's in your room. Where I'm afraid the PSVR 2 probably isn't going to sell very well because one, the Quest exists now and is much more popular, but also people kind of have this. They would want to see what's different with VR with PSVR 2. What makes it better than the Quest? And in a lot of ways, maybe it's a little bit more powerful, but I don't think people are. I think if you already have a Quest, you're not getting a PSVR 2. I think that's
yeah.
That was my main takeaways. Was like I'm on yesterday was day 20 of doing the Supernatural thing on Oculus, right? So main things is this has to be wireless, because if it's wired, why would you bother? And two, they got to come out with some killer exclusive games for this besides just this Horizon game, because everything else you can get on the Oculus right now. Even some of the ones that were on the original, like I think Moss was originally one that was only on PlayStation, that's on the Oculus now. So like they got to come out with some stuff, and I don't doubt they will, but it's going to take more than Horizon, at least for somebody like me to want to consider it, and the price has to be decent.
I agree. Like the thing is my like area 2 isn't like very like wide. Like there's a coffee table where my PS5 is. So in order to do anything, you have to like move everything in order to play it. So there's a lot going on with that. I did think the trailer looked cool for Call of the Mountain. I am interested, what kind of experience it's going to be able to produce. Just hopefully, like a part of me in a way just hopes that, and I hate to say it, but a part of me hopes the PSVR 2 just doesn't sell well enough that Sony goes, okay, Call of the Mountain, we're gonna put that on Quest or something like that, because you're going to get so much more people to play it if it's on Quest. So that's like something that they have to think about.
What was the original VR? How much did that cost when it came out?
Was it 350?
300, I think. I think it was 300. Maybe 350 if you had to get the camera.
That sounds right.
I'm trying to grasp like a price. Like, what are they going to drop this VR 2 for? I know, like you mentioned it, but like I just don't. I'm trying to like think about it because obviously PS5s are 500, so like it's going to be like in between but that's not like a lot of like a dollar difference, you know? Like, do they bump it up to, is it four? Is it 450 like to drop? Because I saw the Call of the Mountain trailer and I almost called it the Call of the Wild trailer. Uh, something different entirely. And I was like quite excited. Like it almost made me want to get VR. It pushed me like 70% like purchasing it when it comes out or like almost even pre-ordering it because I mean right now I'm finishing Forbidden West like everybody else who played Elden Ring. And so like 3 months later I'm trying to finish Forbidden West and I can't imagine just like actually scaling any of the terrain yourself, without having to like spam buttons. Like that alone is like going to be some of the fun parts. And in the trailers, seeing not just like a watcher, because I was like concerned as the trailer was opening about how difficult the enemies were going to be, but like seeing like what I thought was a Thunderjaw, and a bunch of different things in there. Like they got some pretty like hard machines in there. So I guess it's the high of just still playing Forbidden West right now. But I saw that trailer and I was like, yes, VR2, like doing it. Let's do it. Like that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I wonder what they'll charge for it.
It's tough because even if you charge $300, which I think is fair, you can get an Oculus for $300. So that's $300 all in, and you can start playing games immediately. Whereas with this, even if it's $300, which I have a feeling it's going to be more, you still got to pay $500 for the PlayStation. So you're at $800 minimum just to get in. So like, why would you get it when it's because I want to play this Horizon VR game? It ain't worth $800. I don't care how good it is.
No, it's not.
But I mean, I feel like 300 is the sweet spot, and hopefully they can stick to that.
Yeah, I hope so too. Like, I've been chasing this like PlayStation almost, and it wasn't even with the VR. Before the VR came out, like they did the PlayStation Move with the camera, and I thought that was simple enough, easy enough to do, where you just have to get a $50 camera, and it tracked your movement. I've been chasing that high of playing Killzone, I think 3 with the PlayStation Move because that was so much fun.
Yeah.
Like getting this little like a plastic assault rifle thing that it responded, but like no other game has really met that. I never played Blood and Truth though, or one of the other war games that came out for VR, and that probably like it came with like a toy gun type thing, so it probably emulates it a little bit. But if there is something like I want to play Call of the Wild, or dang it, you've done it, Craig. Now you've made me say it. Call of the Mountain. If for whatever reason,
by Jack London, isn't that?
Yeah. If for whatever reason, I don't end up getting the PSVR 2, I'll probably just live at Craig's place so I can play Call of the Mountain for a little bit, and then
Call of the Mountain,
Call of the Wild.
You can't believe you've done this.
I mean, I think the high for me still to this day is Super Hot. I don't think anything has topped that yet. Things have gotten close, but for me, that's like the pinnacle.
Yeah.
I only get a little frustrated with Super Hot because I feel like when I throw something, it almost never goes where I want it to.
Yeah.
Like it's always like to the left or to the right, especially hitting a target that's far away. It's just difficult. But yeah, no, it's that one's fun for me. For me, it's I just want that like VR moment where it was like, okay, this is worth it, kind of thing.
I mean, you could be the kind of person where No Man's Sky on VR is what does it for you. I don't know. Like they had a nice variety of different things. I mean, I saw that and I went, but like,
yeah. Some smaller announcements in Roller Dome being announced. A cool little battle royale, what looks to be like roller derby third-person shooter.
Yeah.
Cool art style. I'm not sure how big that game's going to be, but it's an interesting idea. The new Street Fighter game. Did anybody see this and think it was like Def Jam 2?
Yes. It looks terrible.
What's with the open world? Like, what's the extent of it? Is it like 2K open world?
People have been saying in the Street Fighter series that it needs a refresh. Like, it needs to do something different. I'm not sure if this is it.
No.
to be honest. But I'm not a big fighting game fan, so it's really going to be up to the Street Fighter people to decide whether or not this is a good move. Uh, it does seem like the characters have aged, so this is a different take on those characters.
Yeah.
Where interested to see where the story goes, because this is the first time we've really seen these characters age, I believe.
His
So
bearded Ryu.
Yeah.
yeah.
Where was our boy Ken? Did I miss Ken? He wasn't
I
in the
didn't see
trailer.
him.
Where's
Yeah.
Dalazim? Where's
Yeah.
Blanca?
It was just
where's-
Ryu and Chun Li, really. is
Yeah,
what
it was
I
Yeah,
just
saw.
Ryu.
and
Yeah.
they switched the art style too. It's definitely a lot more like realistic. How do I say it? Yakuza type style, where is it going to be worth it? I don't know, and I'm not sure if this is it, because it also like mentioned like that there's a hub, for kind of the online play or maybe the open world part. I don't really know. We haven't seen a lot of it, but I just hope Street Fighter fans are happy if that's what they wanted, and if not, hopefully it begins to make sense at some point, because to me it just didn't.
Yeah, no, I'm confused by this. I guess if it plays well in their online netcode, which is what everybody complains about in fighting games, if that's fine, I think they'll overlook the art style, right?
Yeah.
But for me, that art style, I was like, ew, that's a weird choice, I guess.
Yeah.
Stray, July 19th.
Yes.
Craig, I'll let you take the floor here. This is your game of the year, I imagine. So
Excited. All right. And not just because my wife was sitting next to me who wants to play it even more than I do. There's a couple of things in the trailer that made me a little wary, just because I'm just like any other jaded gamer with trailers nowadays. I like the atmosphere. I like the setting. It looks like light to medium combat, which for me would be refreshing after the games that I've been playing, in the last couple of months. I like the robot friend. It's got like a BB-8 kind of thing going here, but like a flying more so for me. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be okay. I think it's going to be okay. Cause like, again, I'm skeptical as the gamer who has seen so many, like, this is what we promise you. And then like, here's what you got. My pizza's cold. You said it was going to be hot, kind of thing. I think it's going to be great. But the last time that I had this feeling, and I'll tell you, gentlemen, with such a humble nature, the last time I had this feeling without a lot of information was Biomutant. To give you an idea of how I felt after that game came out, I was all in on that game, and that's how I am about Stray. But it's kind of like a Santa thing to me. I want to believe it's real. Sorry if you still believe in Santa and you listen to this podcast. I want to believe that it's real. It's a tangible idea that is going to it's not just good on paper, or not just exciting on paper. And it's not just exciting for like cat lovers who could just buy the PlayStation 5 for that game specifically, I can't wait. And when the release date was said, I meowed out loud instead of yelped. Normally people scream or cheered. I meowed out loud right in the living room, scared the cat, the whole 9 yards. So I'm all in on this game, and I can't wait. And like, I honestly hope if it turns out to be a flub, like, get on me about it. Cause like last time I had this like gut feeling, I wasn't right. I was not correct. But
And also, all right. So also with Stray, the other thing that I wanted to bring up that I just remembered is that they did mention it's included with PlayStation Plus. I don't remember. I think it was the top 2 tiers, I think is what it was. So even if it's not as good as you hoped it would, it's not that big of a loss. Like, I'm assuming this game's probably what, $30 max, maybe 40.
If they capitalize on cat.
Right. So I think that to me is an awesome win for them to be like, to push PlayStation Plus, because everybody's been talking about this game for a while now, to be like, hey, you don't even have to buy it, just get PlayStation Plus. You want to play our old PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 games anyway, and then get this day one for free. I mean, that's what I'm gonna do anyway.
Yeah, that's a very good
point. I can't say how reward. I was gonna say, I just can't say how rewarding that is for someone like for me who's had PlayStation Now and Plus to know that I'm gonna get. You know, it's much like similar to what Nintendo's doing, where if you
Mhm.
sign up for that Plus plan, you know, I don't have to pay for Mario Kart DLC. I don't have to pay for the Animal Crossing DLC, which is nice. It really is
Yeah.
because I don't plan on removing or like going down any tiers because you know I've played enough PlayStation's Xbox that it's worth it for me
Yeah.
probably to have the tiers. So it's nice to see that I think Sony probably picked up that kind of thing from Nintendo.
And
Yeah.
Like
Microsoft.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And Microsoft, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're
yeah,
pulling a Game
Microsoft.
Pass.
Yeah, they did. I mean, Microsoft did it first, and like,
Yep.
it's nice to see the other two follow suit because not everybody's going to be excited about Stray like I am. However, Stray is a perfect Game Pass or higher tiered PlayStation Plus game. Some
Yep.
people might just want to try it, give it a whirl, give it 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever. See if it's as cute as they think it is or as like challenging or whatever it's going to be. It's perfect for that.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree.
All right, next up is Callisto Protocol. Now, I was going to
Craig.
say, I'll let you guys take the floor on this one. I don't know as much about it. I know it's an older game that's getting a
Craig.
full-on remake. No?
No.
Craig, you talk because I thought of you as soon as I saw this.
Yeah.
Go, Craig.
New game, but from the creator of Dead Space is how to frame this game. And I think the first thing that caught my attention, though, I mean, obviously Dead Space vibes, right? A lot
Yeah,
of Dead
he
Space
literally
vibes.
has the health like on his back
Yeah.
or the back of his
But
neck.
holy cow, does it look good?
Yeah.
Like some of that I know is cinematics, in-game cinematics, not in-game gameplay, but that was super impressive. Like potential to be, in my opinion, one of the best looking games on PlayStation when this comes out. Super creepy, which is what we want. Perfect tie over until we get the Dead Space remake next year. When is that? Well, which one's actually coming out first now? I don't even know. Dead Space might
It
come
has
out
to be
first.
Callisto.
Yeah, it's coming out
Callisto is due by December this year.
Okay, yeah.
December
So we can
2nd.
play that, and then get into the Dead Space remake in like February or whenever that's coming out next year. But yeah, I mean, I think it looks fantastic. And again, it's another game that Barry will be streaming, right?
Yes.
See why not? I liked Dead Space.
Yeah, you like
I
to be
just don't-
scared.
Okay, that is a lie. That's much like how I said it was an old game. That is also a lie.
Yeah.
I will admit it interested me. Like the one
Yeah.
thing that I loved about Dead Space is like the horror never like overcame like the action bits that were really fun to play. So I just hope that if it's, as you said, it's from the creator of Dead Space, that we get a bit more of that balance, because right now it seems like the remake for Dead Space is pretty much going full on Resident Evil like type like horror type of stuff. So as long as like much like how Resident Evil is, much as if like the arcadey bits or the shooting bits of things are fun, I'm willing to get scared for the camera.
Yeah, did you actually, like, in the trailer there was that one part where they had the close up on the guy's face, at like the mutated guy's face? There were parts of that were very chilling, and I loved every second of it. Also, I was a little bit embarrassed of myself, so I stood up to get something like a soda or something out of the refrigerator as that was going on, right? And I came back and I took a look at it, and you know what game I thought of? I thought they were doing a Red Faction like redo.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
screamed it for the first 5 seconds until I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is totally like this is Dead Space, or like a Dead Space-esque type of game. It's my favorite takeaway from, and I'm just after ranting about Stray, I'm gonna say this, is Callisto Protocol is my favorite or highly anticipated game, just because Stray's coming out in a month, from this showcase. It looks like it's going to be fantastic. Like, and they could keep making as many games as they want, that studio, because they are like, I mean, Dead Space is tried and true. It is like the pickup truck that your granddad owns that has lasted for years because you just know it's reliable kind of game, you know? I'm excited.
Yeah, this was my number one from the showcase as well. Easily.
So speaking of Resident Evil, that's the perfect segue into the Resident Evil 4 remake that now they are working on. kind of a surprise on my point, considering like we've played Resident Evil 4 on everything. Like if
Mhm.
anything, I would think that maybe you would want to remake 5 or like show off the next Resident Evil,
Not
but
5.
instead, not
Well,
5.
also thank you for not
Not
saying
5.
6. Don't thank you for not
Yeah.
continuing and saying 5 or
Ugh.
maybe even 6. Like
Ugh.
Well, like the thing is, I actually tried to play 6 in
Yeah.
like it trying to get my mind mentally ready for
Uh-huh.
8, and I couldn't play 6. I really
It's
couldn't.
bad. Yeah.
It's unplayable.
And I will say 5 isn't necessarily the greatest thing in the world either, but they could probably do what they did with 2 and change a lot of it, and
could.
and make it so it's a bit more digestible and not bad in a word.
Real bad.
Really.
But for me, as a person who has never played Resident Evil 4, I've really only seen other people like play tidbits of it. I'm excited because this will probably be the first time I decide to jump into it.
I just bought it on the Oculus in VR.
Yeah,
We were just talking about this. I own it on PlayStation 2, Oculus, 360, Xbox One. I don't
Oh
have
my
it on
God.
PC. No, wait, I do have it on PC. So that's 5 ways. So which is worse, Skyrim or Resident Evil 4 at this point?
I mean, I can't even give you an answer. Like,
well, I think it's pretty clear because I'm pretty sure it's on the Switch too.
It is.
So
it is.
So it's
Yeah.
like I'm pretty sure that this game is probably worse than Skyrim, and
Mm.
that's kind of weird to say considering how old Resident Evil 4 is compared to Skyrim.
Yeah.
Also, on a side note, I see what they're doing, and I appreciate that this is a full-on remake, just like Resident Evil 2 that they did and 3. But we still don't have this DLC for Resident Evil 8 that they
Mhm.
have promised, and we still don't have whatever the next Resident Evil game is. So instead of doing the DLC that they've been promising for over a year, they went back and did Resident Evil 4, which is already out on 10,000 consoles.
That's a
I
good
just don't
point.
understand. Like, I'm still going to play it because I'm an idiot, and I'm going to buy it because I'm an idiot. But, like, where's this Resident Evil 8 DLC? Come on now.
Yeah, I thought that was weird to not see any of that, especially with them releasing all the like footage, especially
Yeah.
having 8 on VR and also doing like the 4
Yep.
remake. I felt like something was lacking, and then I figured it out at the end of the showcase. But I'm like you, Craig. I'm gonna buy it.
Yep.
Buy it. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna marvel at the graphics and like the updates and what they do for quality of life, small and big. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do
Yep.
it. I'm gonna Skyrim it.
I mean, it'll be cool for you, Barry, because you've never played it. So getting to experience it at like maximum 4K, crystal clear. Hopefully the controls aren't as bad as the original was.
And
You'll
that's
be-
why I never played the original, is because like
Yeah.
I know the controls are terrible, and if
They're not
as
great.
long as
Yeah.
if it plays anything like 2, I'm gonna enjoy it. You saw
Yep.
saw me, and like 2 years ago, I binged 2. I got it done in a weekend, and I gave it back
Yep.
to you.
Yep.
Like if it's
Mhm.
anything like that, yeah, I'm all for it. Bring me,
Yeah.
I am excited for it because it is 4 around the same timeline as 2. Like, is it only going to take me 3-4 hours to beat, or is it a much longer game?
It's longer than that.
Yeah, it is.
Is it? Okay.
I mean, yeah. There's a reason they keep selling this game. It's the best one, I think. I don't think anyone
No,
has
it
come
is.
close to it. So
It
you'll
is.
definitely enjoy it. I think it'd probably, I don't know, 6 to 8 hours, maybe 10.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I could binge it in a weekend, but maybe
You
not.
could.
I get it.
Yeah, you probably not, but I think you could.
Yeah, you're a good gamer, so like you're not gonna die as much, So
If you
Look,
don't
if
go
I'm-
anywhere,
If I'm into something, I do it. Like Craig has known me with like The Last of Us 2. I played over 20 hours in 2
That was crazy.
days. It's the same thing with Resident Evil 2. I finished that up in a weekend. Same thing with
Yep.
Devil May Cry, actually. Devil
Yeah.
May Cry 5. I gave
Oh,
that
yeah?
back to you pretty quickly. That
Yep.
that's almost like an anime. It was like binging it in a way. So yeah,
Yeah.
like if it could get me to do that, I'm happy. It's just a matter of when these games come out. Like, you gave me those games when I had nothing really to play. Last of Us 2 is kind of its own thing, but like those games are perfect like backlog games for me just to tackle right away, because that's what
Yeah.
everybody's doing right now, is tackling their backlog.
Yep.
it kind of sucks to say it, but like we're all working on our backlogs right now, and probably Forspoken probably would have been a really good game to come out like this
Yep.
It
month
would have,
or
yeah,
like June.
at this time. It
Yep.
would have had its own
Because
slot.
Yep.
its own spotlight, literally. It would have had its own thing, but you know, delays are happen for a reason. But we'll continue with the talk here, and finally, the last little bit is Final Fantasy 16 coming out summer of next year.
Inject it in my veins.
Yes, absolutely. This looks like a straight up Final Fantasy mixed Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
with-
it does.
And like the only other thing that I could see really was the fact that like the gods are fighting. It seems like it like,
Yeah, like each other.
gigantic kaiju battles.
Yeah.
I am all for it. Summer is summer spring is the perfect time for it to come out.
Oh, yeah.
These games take sometimes hundreds of hours to beat, and if it gets its own spotlight in the summer, as long as no one else releases near that window, I am gonna be floored with it. I really thought the combat looked cool. It
Mhm.
looks, I think it looks a little bit more fluid than 15, which it needed to be.
Yeah.
It looks like
Um,
the Final Fantasy VII remake style
yeah,
to me.
which
It does.
which people really, I really like that combat. Like,
I did
it's
too,
just too
yeah.
bad we didn't get to see anything about Final Fantasy VII Part 2.
Yeah, for real.
regard-
What?
Yeah, when is that?
Yeah,
2027.
Uh,
which sucks.
Yeah.
But
It looks great. I was like, oh my god, there's Shiva. Oh my god, there's Bahamut. Oh my god, there's a Freet. Like it's just like and they were fighting in like a Godzilla against each other kind of way. Like I don't know. It's gonna be fun. I'm interested to see how much summons are a part of this one because summons had such a specific to-do list in 15 that depending on how you play, they weren't as prevalent, you know, in your gameplay. So they just took like a 2-minute trailer and showed me like summon for like, I don't know, a minute out of the 2 minutes of it or 3 minutes or whatever it was. And it's going to be good. Ramuth was there. Everybody was there. It was like the whole gang was there, you know, over the course of the games. It's going to be good, I think. And you're right, Game of Thrones-esque, definitely. They jumped right into it and were like, here's Kingdom. They really didn't establish any characters. They kind of just showed that there's going to be turmoil almost immediately, which I'm all for, you know. For
yeah,
Final Fantasy.
they need to do a better job with the story. For sure.
Yeah.
15 was kind of a mess.
Mhm.
And definitely does need, like, I have a feeling that like the Final Fantasy series is always like kind of flip-flopped between really good and not so good games. I have a feeling that because of how long of a gap this has been between 15 and 16, I think we've got a really good chance for this game to be like a good statement for Final
Yeah.
Fantasy, saying, okay, we're back, you know.
Yeah, like you're correct with that story. 12 was good. The last amazing story to me was probably 10. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was also younger when I first played it, so I was more impressionable. And
I would take
Uh,
7 or 8 over 10 or 9, but I like 10. I
Yeah.
think 7 through 10 was solid.
yeah,
Oh.
7 through 10 was a solid showcase. Yeah, it
Mhm.
really was. And obviously 7 being the pinnacle.
Mhm.
8 was my
Good.
first one, and I thought that story was fantastic.
Yep.
But they haven't really had like a here's an amazing from beginning to end with plot twist story. I think since 10.
13-2, baby. That's my favorite.
Was that
13
Lightning
wasn't bad.
Returns?
Yeah.
Well, no, that's the one with Null, and
Okay.
I loved that time traveling stuff. Like
Okay.
that was really awesome. I thought the story was good, but I think that's
Because
because
it was an anime episode.
okay, but it's more like there's a lot. I really like that. I really like 13-2, and I didn't even
That's
finish
fair.
13, and I still like 13-2. And that's going to be it for the state of play, like coverage there. Overall, I'm kind of disappointed that we didn't get to see anything about God of War. That game's supposed to come out this year. The more I don't hear about it, the more I wonder.
Yep.
It probably will get its own state of play.
Probably.
At
The
some
first party
point
state
here.
of play, right?
Yeah, but when
Yeah.
is kind
Yeah.
of what we're looking at here. What's down the alley for the next Spider-Man, the next God of War?
Yeah.
I guess I'm just
Ratchet
trying
and
to think
Clank.
of yeah, Ratchet and Clank kind of the next thing. I don't know if we would get something new with Ratchet and Clank, considering that the newer one is still not old, but
That mystery game that Naughty Dog's working on.
mystery
Oh,
game Naughty Dog definitely,
yes.
considering Last of Us 2 has taken has been out for a while.
Right.
There's a lot of like first party questions that are coming along, and like with Xbox pushing back their stuff till 2023, and we'll probably see more at the showcase later this week for Xbox. 2023 like looks to be set like in Xbox's year. Sony needs to do something to come out and be like, okay, like you have a bunch of exclusives coming out, but here's our like huge gigantic exclusive that everybody's gonna want. Everybody's gonna forget about your measly little One X Series X man type stuff. So overall though, I really like the announcements. It's good to see something about Final Fantasy 16. The Resident Evil
Gotcha.
news was good. Like
Yep.
this had something for everybody. It's got
It
horror
did.
games that people like. It's got, some first party stuff with Horizon, and updates on new games and upcoming ones. So
And holding
overall,
hands.
yeah, and holding hands.
And
R2
with a
to hold
button
hands.
attached to
Remember
it.
that.
Yeah.
Did anybody else have any more news? I only had two other things.
Nope.
Dragon Age Dreadwolf is the
Yeah.
title for the new Dragon Age. Had a purple-ish title. If that means anything, probably not. But good. We finally have a title for the new Dragon Age. Let's see if anything comes out of it. Let's see if we
See
start
in
to get
5
game-
years.
Yeah. See if we get gameplay or something. And then lastly, IGN showed off the world premiere of Sonic Frontiers. And oh my god.
Looks
Bad. Does not look good.
No.
I don't know what it was playing on. I know it's on alpha. I know it's probably in alpha status. Like, I hope they delay it if they are to like continue to make it better. But my concern is you have a chance to make Sonic relevant again. Sonic 2 made boatloads of
Yep.
money.
Yeah.
You can't fumble the bag. You have a chance to make millions of dollars on Sonic Frontier, and if it is not a good game, if it's Sonic 06 again, which, let me be fair, I like Sonic 06, but it's because I had
Stop.
no idea.
Stop.
It's because I had no idea what was going on. I just had fun running around. I was young when that game came out. I didn't realize loading times were such a big thing.
Oh god.
But
It's one of the worst games of all time.
I don't know about all time.
It's up there. It's up there. Superman
No.
64, Sonic
Oh my
06.
god. Oh my god. Superman 64.
Interesting. But
Oh my God,
like
that
that's they showed off combat as well, but people are asking for it to be delayed, and in a way I'm hoping it is, or at least that this alpha footage was so early that maybe something new has come out. But
It just looked empty.
it looked boring.
Yeah, super boring.
Like it's inspired by Breath of the Wild. That is very, very clear.
What isn't?
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
isn't since it
Yep.
came out?
But
Everything
how
is-
do you? My problem is
Tunic.
how do you make Sonic Breath of the Wild like the combat looked the same old combat that we're used to seeing in a way, but Sonic's whole thing is going fast, and that is really good for arcade levels, I think.
Mhm.
Like arcade type of gameplay where I don't know if this open world if it's just a hub and then you go out kind of like how Sonic Adventure was, which if that's the case, cool. I'm all
Yeah.
for it. But they're trying to go for the whole Breath of the Wild, ooh, it's mysterious. Sonic doesn't know what he's doing here. There was no banger songs like in Sonic Adventure. There's no moving around at the speed of sound.
Yep.
I just wanted to see more. I wanted to see them further into it, and it just seems weird that like, and especially if you notice in the gameplay trailer, like there are random pop-ins of like stuff of I guess rails in the air. However that works. A lot of questions need to be answered about Frontier. I don't know if we're gonna get it, and I'm glad they showed it off now instead of just keeping it quiet and releasing it like trash, if
Yeah.
that's the case. So
It's a public
hopefully fans
uproar.
get what they want with a delay. But
Yep.
I can't see Capcom wanting to release something that people don't want or people don't have positive opinions on, considering that this is the moment for Sonic, and it
Yeah.
needs to perform. It needs to do well. There is so much riding on this game and the Sonic franchise as a whole. You have the potential to make Sonic bigger than Mario
Yep.
in a way, because the Mario movies, we don't know how good they're gonna do. Kids love Sonic right now, like that is a fact, and you can get a lot of people on the Capcom Sonic train if you manage to do this release right.
Which they won't, because it's Capcom. And when's the last time they had a good game besides Resident Evil?
I was gonna say, we do have the Resident Evil
gonna-
studio
That's separate. They're separate.
Maybe Street Fighter 6.
Street Fighter 5 was terrible.
Yeah.
Right? Like it was received poorly. So
Yeah.
they just don't have a good track record. They have a horrible track record with Sonic for the past 10, 15 years. Besides, what was that one that was
Generations.
That one was okay. But it looked bad. They need to figure something out because it looks like
And
trash.
Sonic Boom was a recall to past Sonics as well. No,
Right,
it wasn't Sonic Boom.
No, it was the one that was like fan made originally, and then they hired him.
Yeah,
It was
Sonic.
2D. I forget what it was called. Generations?
So do I. No, it's not Generations,
No, that's the bad one.
and it's not Sonic Forces. That's the bad one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mania.
Yeah, that is the bad
Mania.
one.
Mania. Yep.
Mania. That's it. Sonic Mania is the one that's a callback to the 2D.
Yeah, and they
Why
didn't
can't-
even make it.
Why can't
Yeah.
everybody who has like some type of who does the next Sonic game sit down and you know how you do a to-do list? Do a to-don't list.
Yeah.
Why can't they start from like what you shouldn't do with Sonic? Because like I don't know, like I'm frustrated like everybody else where it's just like I just want Sonic to be as good as it was when I was younger. Like consistently. You know, other games have figured it out. You know, so why can't they just figure out Sonic and like seriously just like sit down with a notepad and be like, here's what we can't do with Sonic. We'll see if open world goes in that or not, but they keep trying all of these ways to revitalize him and the franchise, and to strike out like essentially 90% of the time is embarrassing for a character of that relevance to not only gamers but now because of the movies, and we'll take the movies out because of the TV show back in the day outside of gaming. He had relevance. Like, how do you mess this up that much? You know, like,
I just don't think Sonic was ever supposed to leave 2D side scroller. I don't. Mario managed to figure it out, but I don't think Sonic was ever meant to.
I liked
I mean,
Adventure.
I just 2D side scroller was the best option for Sonic. You can make him go fast and it looks good and it plays well. And when Mario went 3D, I felt like they needed to do the same and it just doesn't work out. Just keep him 2D side scroller and we'll be fine.
or make him slower, which takes his whole gig out.
Then it's not Sonic.
And he's not Sonic.
That's going to be it for news this week. Definitely took up a majority of the show this week, but that's because there isn't a lot of games to play right now. People are tackling backlogs or watching TV shows, because let's be honest, holy heck, there are a lot of
Nothing.
TV shows.
Yeah.
But games wise, not a lot. As I mentioned before, I've been working on Pokemon Arceus, making a big dent in that, I feel like, and Tales of Arise.
Oh, still playing that, huh?
Still am, yes. How about you, other Craig first?
So it's like I said earlier, Forbidden West for me. I could probably put another 20 hours into the game because I'm just walking around doing stuff now. I kind of hit a point where I've unlocked a lot of the map, like a lot, and it's just so fun just running around and just doing specific things. Great game. Other than that, I jumped back into Persona 5 Strikers just because I didn't know what to play, and I didn't want to go from Elden Ring right to Forbidden West 25 hours into Forbidden West. It just didn't feel like a transition that was good for me. So I played Persona 5 Strikers for about 10 or 15 hours, got the soundtrack in my head again, downloaded it on Apple Music, and then I was like, okay, I could stop. And now that's basically what I'm doing.
Okay.
And then I have Diablo Immortal
Okay.
and Roller Champions, not to be confused with the other roller game that got announced.
Roller Dome.
Roller Dome. This is Roller Champions, people.
Roller Dome. uh, but I guess me and other Craig here can kind of go over with us tackling our backlogs here. For me? I come back to Tales of Arise like a bit more refreshed, enjoying the game like more now that it's not kind of being pushed to the side for other games that are coming out as well. For you, how is it coming back to Forbidden West or even Strikers, considering how long that's been out for? Like it. You pretty much remember the whole story like with it, or is it something you kind of had to like work through and remind yourself where you are?
So I'll make it easy for Strikers. As soon as I get back into an Atlas game, the soundtrack gets me right back in it, and then I remember things. It's fantastic. Forbidden West. Forbidden West felt like a town that I lived in for like 5 years as a kid, and then I went off to college, and then I had to come back and like ask around to figure out how people are doing. Like how's old Mary out at the on the hilltop? Because like I remembered the majority of it, but I stopped in, I don't know, an area where you could say like things were happening. So like I had to get back used to the gameplay, because there was a whole mess of buttons that I was pressing for Elden Ring that I wasn't pressing for. Like it's just a different vibe, you know, like like dashing, even small things like dashing, or sprinting. I'm sorry, and then just where everything is, and then getting back into like heavy machine battles, like not just like the Watchers, but like getting back into like fighting like a Tremor Tusk or um anything really that has like the kind of firepower. Like it's just that muscle memory you have to grab back. Now that I'm back in it, Horizon has never been, I think Horizon tries to over explain, um and they do specific things like Aloy repeating multiple things back to herself in cutscenes, but also out of cutscenes. Those things help you with hints when you're doing something that you need to do. But like I've never I've been blown away by parts of Horizon's story, but never the grand all be all. And I think it just comes with when you have to talk with individuals and just like selecting every portion of their bubble, like just like all right, so I'm done with the top left option. Now I'm going to the top right option. You know, do I want to go back to base and talk to everybody, you know, and figure out what they've been doing for the last 10 game hours? I don't, you know, so um it's refreshing to go back into it. And once I played the first 30 minutes, I was like, when I bought that collector's edition, back in it. Like I felt the same feeling, that like amazing feeling of like, I'm going to go and do this, you know, like, so it's been good for me. It's just now I'm in the point where, you know, anybody who's played any Horizon game, which is just like you have the laundry list and you're like, this component I need 5 of. So I'm going to spam, reload, and just try to hit that one component off of this large machine that's going 100 miles an hour at my face. So that's where I'm at. I'm at the shopping list, you know?
Yeah.
So
arguably the worst part of that game.
it is. And it is. It triggers like a specific thing in your system where you're like, I have to get it though, because I'm a gamer. I do this. Like, this is what I do. But you hate it while you do it.
Yep. I agree.
All right, Craig, because you're the only gamer who's played new stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Diablo Immortal. I started playing on my phone because why not?
Okay.
And then I also downloaded it on my PC as well. Being a big Diablo fan, this plays exactly like Diablo 3, but with a whole bunch of ways for you to spend money. It looks surprisingly good on your phone. It's just a little irritating to play on your phone, because you're talking about a game like Diablo where you have multiple spells you can use, and when you're playing on PC, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 is your spells and all that. Whereas on the phone, it's buttons on the screen, so you're kind of like, and my fingers are like smashing the buttons. So it's definitely better on PC. I don't think it's a bad game. I think it's a good tie over until we get Diablo 4. It's just that inherent amount of money they want to take from you to actually enjoy this game is what's frustrating, because there is a good game underneath all that, but you're going to struggle if you're not putting money into it. So like trying to play this game casually, I'm sure you can. And I'm playing with like 2 other friends and it's fine, but there's still that ultimate, like, we're not doing as well as we are accustomed to doing in a Diablo game because we're not giving them $20-$30 here and there to level up our gear. But at its core, the gameplay is good. If you like Diablo, it's just a shame that the amount of loot box material in this game is just like, it's appalling at times. So I can't really recommend it to people unless you're just like me, who is like, I want to play Diablo 4. I've played so much Diablo 3. I guess I'll play this in the meantime. That's really the only good excuse, I guess, to play it. Otherwise, just wait till who knows when, next year, maybe, for Diablo 4, maybe
Hopefully.
2 years, who knows. And then Roller Champions, which is a Ubisoft game. It is a roller derby with a ball, and you have to go around a track. And when you go a full lap around the track, there is a goal that will open and you can throw the ball into for 1 point. It's a very simple premise. You go around 2 times, you get 2 points. If you go around 3 times, you get 5 points, which will end the game. Very simple process. It's 3-on-3. So when one team has the ball, the other team's trying to tackle them, hit them, and take the ball back. When you do, your lap progress resets and you got to go the whole way around again before you can score. Super simple, super fun. I really like this game a lot. It's free. The only problem is if you're not playing with friends, it is so frustrating to try and play with random people in this game, because there is a mechanic that, like, when you're obviously like moving forward and you're skating, you can hit like the right trigger and you'll tuck. So when like you're going up the side and you'll come down and get speed. And there's also a pass mechanic. So like if you see the whole other team of 3 people coming at you to tackle, you can throw it to your partner. But when you're playing with randoms, they don't do it, right? Because everybody's like, I'm going to do it myself and just go around. So it's super frustrating. But if you can get people to buy into this game, I'm not with money, but like to actually want to play this game with you, there's a lot of fun here. But you just can't do it by yourself. So I don't think this game is probably going to stick around, but I think that everybody should give it a shot while it's there, because I think it's something different and something fun. As far as I know, it's on Xbox and PlayStation. I would imagine it's probably on PC as well. So it's free. Give it a download. I need more people to play with, so I stopped pulling my hair out. But yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
Okay.
I'll have to give it a shot. It sounds interesting. I'll have to look at some gameplay.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right, and now for the lack of games coming out, there's a ton of TV shows.
Yeah.
For me this week, I have watched Stranger Things season 2 and 3. I am on
Nice.
episode 3 of season 4 right now.
You're almost there.
I'm almost there. Watched Ambulance, that came out.
Yes.
I watched the first 2 episodes of The Boys, new
Mhm.
season, and Obi-Wan.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot and a lot of
Craig?
anime, but this is an anime corner, so
So we got to hold off until next week then to talk Stranger Things when you're fully done.
yeah, it like the one. So
Wait.
I'm not going to spoil anything.
Other Craig, you've watched Stranger Things, right?
I haven't watched the latest. No.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Barry, I know we can't talk about the latest season. What did you think about the ending of the last season in the mall?
I loved it.
Yes.
Season
So good.
season 3 is my favorite as well.
Yep.
I
Until the new
love
one.
Billy. I
Billy's great.
love Billy.
Mhm.
Despite like you said you watched Stranger Things, right? Like you're caught up, Craig.
Mhm.
I'm fully done. Other Craig, you have not watched the new season, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
But you've
so
watched
don't say-
season 3. Okay,
cool.
just making sure.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Billy's progression throughout the entire thing is just very natural. Like since the start of him from season 2, I get it. Billy's an a-hole, but I love the music he listens to.
Yeah.
Like, there's something infectious about him that I'm just like, yeah, Billy's hardcore. I like him. Just besides the fact that he's a dick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is. He is.
To Max and everything. But yeah, season 3 so far is my favorite right now. 2 episodes into season 4. The only issue I have with season 4 right now is these episodes, like, they're a commitment.
They
Like,
are. They're long.
uh, with how long the episodes are now, like,
It's
I
like an
binge,
hour and a half.
I binged season 3 in almost a day. Um, and that's
Oh, wow.
where I feel like 4 I can't do that with season
Nope.
4 here, because there's such long episodes, and to be honest, a lot is going on. And if you like miss a second of it, I feel like I'm gonna be lost. So that's I've been taking my time with season 4 because it feels different. I can't just
Mhm.
like binge it. I feel like, because
Okay.
if I binge it, it's going to be an all nighter, and I need to work
Yeah.
the next day.
Yeah. Go ahead, other Craig. What have you been up to?
So it's been less TV for me because I've really I've put a lot into Forbidden to try to catch up.
Sure.
As you should.
But
Yeah.
but I yeah, but I went back to and rewatched Attack on Titan so that I can get into season 4.
Anime
And
corner.
oh
All right, I'll
my
see you guys later.
oh my gosh, it is fantastic. Season 4, I've heard mixed reviews from different people, like personal and just from people I've seen online talk about it. But I really like, they're doing a good job wrapping things up for me. I'm not quite done, but they've explained a lot that have really connected a lot of dots between season 1 and 3. Um, Cast of characters is great. Barry, I actually hated Aaron pretty much the entire series until this like general, and now I'm kind of flip-flopping on him.
Yeah.
Armin, I love. As far as Mikasa is Bay. Mikasa is Bay. She
Yeah.
just is. So it's great. Levi obviously is Bay. He's 100% like going to be like the best to me at all times, but great. I've also, as a movie, watched X.
Yeah.
I wrote down notes for X, and I really only wrote one thing. I just wrote too much X for me.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
There's a
Especially
lot in that movie.
it's a lot. For those of you at home, you probably saw the trailer where it's like a group going out to make basically a snuff film, but they do it in essentially what looks like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre like area. Yep. There were so many things Texas Chainsaw Massacre like about it,
A lot.
but there was a different twist that I wasn't expecting, and it's weird. Like, whoever you watch it with, I feel like you're going to grow with, but you're also going to hate that you've seen it with them, whomever it is. Like, I'm talking about wife, husband, friends, kids. Don't watch it with your kids. It's too much X, and it's not even like the good one. Like, I'd love to come on here and be like, oh man, it was so much. Like, it was exactly what you thought it was, but even more, and they didn't take the camera. Like, it was weird. It got really weird.
I like the way they filmed it.
It was fantastic. It was shot almost, I don't like to use the word perfect like really ever, but as close as you can get. There were a lot of great and a variety of shots. But think about it before you watch it. And don't look anything up about it. Like, you have to experience it like firsthand. And I don't know if I'll ever be the same, but that's what I've watched. Attack on Titan and something completely on the opposite end of the spectrum, X.
All right. So I watched all 3 episodes of The Boys. So I don't know if you want to wait till like next week, Barry, and watch like if you want to watch 3 and then 4, and then we can just go through all 4. And then I also have Kenobi. I watched There's Someone Inside Your House, which is a horror movie on Netflix made by James Wan, who did The Conjuring. And specifically because I knew the other Craig was going to be here, I wanted to very briefly talk about the movie Old because I finally watched it.
Okay.
And specifically since I'm here, that is the worst acting I've ever seen in a movie. ever. And I'm talking about worse than The Room for me. I don't understand if it was the writing or the directing, but those lines, a lot of them are like painful to me to
Mhm.
listen to. I don't know what the problem was, but like I like the concept of the movie, but
Yeah.
I just like I kept getting pulled out of it because of how bad the acting and line delivery was in this movie. It's like comical to me. I was like laughing at some of this stuff. And also man, what was the rapper's name? Oh man, Minivan? Is his name Minivan? I think that and they decided that that was the name to go with for the
Yeah.
rapper in the movie. Uh,
Oh, it's a classic rap name. Minivan? Of course. It
Minivan. I can't,
establishes you in the streets.
Is he at least
oh
built like one?
no,
Oh, well, that doesn't
no.
make any sense.
I don't know. Like I kept looking up stuff because I'm like, there has to be other people in like the horror community who are like, what is going on with this movie? Am I missing something? Is there some nuance that I'm not getting? And it's just everybody being like, why is the acting so bad in this movie? What is going
Yeah.
on? And I just think it's a mixture of the way M. Night Shyamalan writes and the way he directs, and it just doesn't translate to other people.
Mhm.
That it just comes across as so awkward and like I don't. It took me like 5 or 6 sittings to get through this movie. That's how painful it was. But yeah, I did it, so I can say I did it.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy that I feel like he just has this amazing transcript,
Yeah.
and he just doesn't, the way he thinks doesn't, like you were saying, translate to every single acting archetype
Yep.
or like delivery or whatever. Like, I don't understand how somebody can be so hit or miss. No offense to
Yeah.
anybody who's an M Night Shyamalan fan, but it's it's either you're in 100% or you're not, like with
Yep.
it. And now when you watch a film of his, you can almost like make that assessment. He's had enough films in the first like 5 to 10 minutes. You're like, ugh, I don't know if I'm gonna like this one.
This isn't it.
Like,
Yep.
yep,
Yep. I mean, he set up so well. We had the Sixth Sense and Signs that were just phenomenal, and then
Mhm.
after that, it just I feel like it just fell off a cliff. But yeah, that's literally. There's someone inside your house. I can just go through that real quick. It's on Netflix. It's a pretty standard slasher flick. Like somebody's going around killing everybody in the school and airing their dirty laundry before they kill them for the whole town to see. I feel like we've seen that a million times.
Yep.
The twist, I can't say that I 100% saw it coming, but it was pretty obvious when you got near the end before they announced it. And I enjoy James Wan a lot. I think he's done a lot of good for horror. It's definitely worth a watch. I just don't think it's something I'll ever go back to. It's not going to be a classic,
Okay.
but I enjoyed my time with it for the hour and a half or whatever it was. And it's on, like I said, it's on Netflix. It's not like you got to go find it and rent it or buy it. So it's a solid Saturday afternoon horror film.
Okay.
So on my end, and I'll talk about them quickly.
Yep.
Ambulance.
Yes.
I did like the movie. It is a really good adrenaline pumping movie. I saw the ending coming about 30 minutes into the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of stinks that I really wish that they did something different with the ending because like you could read it like a book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I really thought that it was like it is a really fun action movie. Like it keeps
doesn't
your
stop,
interest the
right?
entire time, and yeah, it just keeps going.
Yep.
Like they say, this train, like we're a train. It just keeps moving.
Yep.
I like how I like how instead of like taking time to take you out of the chase to solve what's going on, like it's constantly happening. Everything's revolving around the chase. Everything like the story moves very quickly, and you're kind of wondering how like all three of some of these storylines like meet up in a way, and they converge. I think pretty naturally.
Okay.
I do like what they did. Let me see here. What is the character's name? It's a little strange, but it's the one who was in Aquaman. It is Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. I really like what they did with his character. Like his ending was worth it.
Yeah.
I just wish maybe at the end, something happened. Something different would have happened with Jake Gyllenhaal's character. He plays the psychotic really well.
Yep.
Yeah, he does.
He knows how to turn on crazy eyes. and just be like, yeah. So I did really enjoy Ambulance. I can see why people would like it more than critics would, because it's sitting at about a 72 in Rotten Tomatoes, and then like a 68, 69 in critic form. I can see why people would like it more, because it's a really fun adrenaline pumping movie. Kenobi, the newest episode. I'm dealing with a friend who hates Kenobi.
Tell them to take their monocle off and just enjoy TV shows.
Yeah, and he can't. Like that.
Yeah.
That's the thing there. With me, I really like what they're doing with Kenobi. I think it makes sense for who Kenobi becomes in episode 6. Because like you have to have some sort of progression, because in the prequels he was all about fighting, all about seeking out the Sith, all about, destroying them, and now in Kenobi he's more protecting, and not wanting to blow up, not really blow up, but like, do a whole bunch of universe stuff. He just wants to sit in Tatooine for years upon years upon years. I liked it. I thought Hayden Christensen's return with Darth Vader was really cool. They're teasing us. We know something's gonna happen between those two. Once we get the payoff, it'll be worth it. Sometimes you just have to go through some slow stuff, some stuff that teases you of what could happen in order to get to the better stuff. So I think we're in store for a big reveal and a big fight at the end of Kenobi. We already know season 2 is happening now, so I didn't think we were gonna get a season 2, to be honest. But this is the most watched Disney Plus premiere that they've ever released, which is saying something, considering Marvel has WandaVision and all the other backings. But people like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Ewan McGregor is one of the most likable actors that I think I've seen in almost really any movie.
I think I'm just still riding the high of seeing him in a Star Wars anything again. That makes me enjoy it so much. I'm just like, I love seeing him on my TV, more of it, because he was such a big part of my teenage years for episodes 1 through 3. Yeah. I think they've done such a good job with making that transition from Obi-Wan episode 1 through 3 and now older Obi-Wan, who, I mean, you have to hide that you are a Jedi. So he's done that for 10 years. Yeah, he's not going to come out and be the same Obi-Wan flipping around and killing people with a lightsaber. He's going to be rusty, which he was in that Darth Vader fight. And obviously, it's gone the opposite of where he got the better of Anakin to now Darth Vader is much, much more powerful of a Jedi than he is. So obviously, he's going to get his ass handed to him in that first fight. And obviously, we know from Star Wars canon that neither one of them is going to kill each other in this show. It's not until episode 4. So I'm still waiting on that big cameo. One of them, either Cal from Fallen Order or Ahsoka or somebody. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, we need one of those, and I still think we're going to get it, honestly. The base that the Inquisitors were in, that's from Fallen Order. So, like, they're just hinting at it. They keep hinting at it. I'm just waiting for it.
Yeah, but that's going to be it for the podcast this week. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you, Other Craig. I know we're going to be seeing a lot of you now that your schedule lines up with ours. So I appreciate you making the attempt to come out here and be a part of it. If you like the podcast, please make sure to share it with your friends. Make sure to review it on your listening platform of choice. We appreciate it. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter. We are doing some Twitch. We do have a YouTube. Please make sure to like and subscribe to that. I think I've definitely got all of the social media.
You got them. That was all 4.
If you have any questions, please make sure, hypotheticals, please make sure to email highsensitivity@podcast.com. When this podcast comes out, it's one day before Summer Games Fest. So praise our almighty Lord, Jeff Keighley. I'll put it out there, Jeff Keighley. I'd love to interview you. We would love to interview you. So if you could, it'd be awesome if you found some time after the Summer Games Cast to do an interview or something, because I know you're about to be really busy. But it's gaming season, boys. We got games coming out. We're about to have a ton of trailers after a really huge lull here. So for gaming fans, I hope you get to enjoy this as much as you can because there's no E3. Showed a single tier for E3, and we will see you guys next time.
See you later.
See you, like us.